What is poppin' squad? It's your boy Jesimein, and we got ourselves another Division Manhunt video for you guys. But today we're going to be talking about what the greatest patch of all time was and what would go into that patch. So I was just playing a game the other day and I was just thinking about, you know, the good times I had with Division back in the day. And immediately, you guys already know, I mean, it should be no secret, my favorite patch, obviously, was any patch that had the Sticky Bomb. I feel the Sticky Bomb was the most fun I've ever had in the game and ever will have in the game, only because it was just sheer power and sheer just clips after clips of just funny team wipes and everything. And it was just cool. Even when people got dropped by it and they were a little salty, it wasn't as toxic as it was compared to most of the new meta. But I think a lot of people favor 1.5 only because they were able to do whatever they wanted in a good way. If you wanted to be a shotgunner, shotguns work. If you wanted to be an assault rifles worked. If you wanted to be a sub player, sub players work. If you wanted to sit back and snipe somewhat, I think that was the most lowest out of all the choices. But you were able to do so. And I think people, even though it had its problems, because at the time the heal delay was still an issue, and people really didn't understand why the heal delay was a thing. They were able to, that was when critical save was extremely powerful, and if you didn't use it, you didn't realize how crazy it was. And in all those times like that, it was just a good feeling, you know what I'm saying? It was just like back in the day in the beta where you were able just to go manhunt or go rogue, and even if you died, it wasn't an irritating thing. You didn't really complain, just like, oh, he got me. It was more sportsmanlike conduct. It was before the first person clapped over somebody's body, which I forsake. I hate you. Whoever clapped over the first person body, you're trash, and I hope you step on Legos for the rest of your life. But ever since then, when I would say roughly around the shotgun era is where like the egos and stuff of the game came, and it kind of brought in the player base. Like it separated the casual players from the quote unquote known players. I think that is where the division started taking a curve. I think that's where the patches after that wouldn't compete to the old ones because of those things. I think back in the day, Sticky Bomb times, balanced M1A times, when Striker gave 50% crit damage, when Sentry used to proc with a SMG, when Reclaimer used to have unlimited consumables, when the M44 had explosive bullets, all these little things, as broken as they were, it was a fun broken. It wasn't an irritating broken where people felt they needed to quit the game, and I think that's why those patches are so beloved by the players who did play them, you know what I'm saying, including me especially, because I have ridden the game since day one. I've been here since alpha. I played it when it was a baby, and I've watched it grow into what it is. And, you know, there's a lot of things I don't like personally, and a lot of people don't like. Some of the things I love, you know what I'm saying? There's just, it's just a preference thing. But I feel as far as if we were able to, like, list the greatest patches of all time, they will all have to be pre-toxic time, where the game was more anticipated to be played, like in the groups, and everybody just wanted, you know, they wanted to get loot. When you saw a high end, it was hype fest, you know what I'm saying? That feel of loot was in the game still. Now if you see greens, if they're not perfectly min-max, you leave it on the floor. I missed the time when that was brand new, and if you saw a high end, dude, I remember people used to fight over M1As, and if it had balance, because that was before you were able to change your talents on your weapon. So if there was a god roll weapon on the floor, that was really a god roll weapon. You know what I'm saying? It brought loot up in like the desirable factor for players, and those times were just so much more lit. You know what I'm saying? Even before the hijack, you had to make sure you got to the person before they put their bag on the rope. It wasn't like you sit there and you camp it and take it. It was, the whole game just felt different, and looting itself in those patches made PvE players like god tier, you know what I'm saying? Because if you had a god roll gun, you had it, because you weren't able to trade, you weren't able to recalibrate, and it was really hard to find in the first place. So it was a whole different environment. And I think when you take into the greatest patch of all time, and however you want to word it, and if you were to list them, those patches would have to have that feeling, because it's unmatched. There's nothing as of late that can even compare to that feeling. I remember when I got my first MP7 high end, before we had the blueprints and stuff. Oh my god, dude, it was, I swear everybody was like jealous. It was like getting an exotic weapon in Destiny. It wasn't just a common item that people just left on the floor or can roll 1,000 of them and then lose their value. It was something dope, you know. So if I were to personally list the top 3 patches of all time in Division, of course I would be tied between 1.2 and 1.3, obviously, because of the sticky bomb pre-final measure or post-final measure. Before, it doesn't matter. I will always put those at top no matter what. I would say number 2 would have to be 1.5, just because of the sheer power of players and how you felt in PvP. And for number 3, I don't know. Number 3 is really hard because I kind of like 1.7 because of diversity, but there's a lot of broken things in it. So I guess I'll go for 1.7 as my third, only because there was more. This is obviously has been the most diverse patch as far as choosing gear sets as to date. So that's basically my top 3. But I want to know, like, what do you guys think? Like, what will be the dream patch? I already told you guys, patch 1.j is too OP. They won't let your boy do it because they're trying to save all their hype factor for Division 2. And if there's a patch 1.j, nobody will play Division 2 because patch 1.j is perfect. So, you know what I'm saying? So you guys already know what I would strip from each patch. We talked about it on stream numerous times, and we've all gotten together, and I've seen. That's why I said 1.5 is definitely the popular one, because most people just feel everything just worked. You know what I'm saying? Everything was just okay, even within the broken things of the game. Because at that time, critical save was extremely powerful. Extremely powerful. You were able to just tank anything if you were in critical save. And if you didn't have it, it was GG's. And the triage. Never forget triage. Running back and forth between your heals to get your skill haste back up. It was just ridiculous. You would go pop a heal on the floor. You had to make sure you shot on the floor, because if you didn't, it would just disappear. See, the little broken things like that, we can look over that and not trip, compared to like game breaking glitches. And I guess I heard there's another one out right now. I don't know, but it wasn't that bad. It was more enjoyable overall. You didn't get on Division thinking like, okay, like I already know somebody's gonna run their mouth and somebody's in a clap and send me message to 1v1. That wasn't the culture of the old patches. That's like a new millennial patch thing, and I think that's why it's corny. But you know, so let me know, what do you guys think? What would be your dream patch to go back to if you can just log on Division today, and when they release some kind of thing that you're able to choose a patch? Which patch would you choose? 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, or even 1.8. I want to know. I just want to see where everybody's head's at. If you are more new to the scene and you haven't been around long enough, let me know. Just let me know if you are fine with 1.8. Like that's how you imagine the game to be. And if not, go back and look at my old videos and just see how the game was and how different everything felt. And you'll quickly realize why so much people are passionate over the game, to the point where they're super upset about Rogue 2.0 and whatnot, because what we've been quote unquote raised on when it came to the game is so different than what it's been. And I think that's why, when you take into consideration what the greatest patch of all time is, you're gonna get upset just thinking about it, because you're like, there's no point in having what we have now when we had this. So you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel with sticky bombs. I should have never lost my sticky bombs. Those are my babies. You guys know how much fun the game was. I brought life into the game when everybody started blowing up. So nobody will ever tell me why sticky bombs are a thing, but I guess they're too OP, whatever. But now we have Predators, Mark, and Nomad that aren't OP, I guess. So, you know, yeah, I just want to holler at you guys, because I was in memory lane watching my old videos, thinking about, like, man, like, how good the game was at some points. Like, even within the brokenness that we had to deal with every patch, because every patch had its own broken thing. There's just some patches that just stick at home. You're like, man, those are the good times. That was before DZ 7, 8, and 9. That was before the gear sets. That was before recalibration. That was before, like, the whole nerf to movement. But then again, I guess I see where that's coming up, because I was unstoppable. That was when strafing was born. It wasn't even chicken dancing. It was real strafing. It was slide stepping, flash step, whatever you call it. There's all kinds of things, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to holler at you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let's generate some conversation about this. What is the greatest patch of all time? Let your boy know below. Leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Much love. Thank you guys for watching. Patch 1.j, too lit. You already know what it is. Your boy is out.